The conflict now in Gaza is the culmination of a long war of attrition which Iran has been waging against Israel since the 1990s.
We still know that the Iranians have had a long-term involvement in the struggle of Hamas. They've been supporting them, despite the fact that, as you noted, they are Sunni and they are Shi'i. Yes, Iran supports Hezbollah a lot more. They are much more close-minded. But Hamas still fights the good fight, so to speak, from the Iranian perspective, against Israel.
The ideological position of Iran is that Israel has to be eliminated, but Iran is not the country to do so. Iran's goal and role is to provide the Palestinians, the Arabs, and other Muslims the means to bleed Israel and eventually lead Israel to its destruction.
That's what makes this a particularly dangerous moment, because we are now seeing not only hostilities between Hamas and Israel, but rather we are seeing Shiite militias aligned with Iran in places like Syria and Iraq that are now activated. You've got Hezbollah in Lebanon, which is activated. You've got the Houthis in Yemen, and they are activated.
It was part of a grand strategy of Iran, which is not only Hezbollah, it's Hezbollah. It's the Shia militia in Iraq. It's the attempt of Qasem Soleimani to build a Shia militia in Syria of 100,000 militants, and the Houthis in Yemen to complete the circle.
All of these groups are fighting in concert with Iran in order to potentially overwhelm Israel.
It is part of this Iranian scheme to surround Israel with hostile militias to turn the Golan Heights front, make it active again. So far, not very impressively. But in the future, Iran, in its geopolitical vision for the Middle East, wants to have this land bridge from Iran to the Mediterranean, going through Iraq and Syria itself, and Syria, Lebanon.
Hezbollah is Iran, Iran, Iran.
It was Iran that established Hezbollah. It is Iran that supplied Hezbollah with such an impressive arsenal that turned it from another Lebanese militia, and there are many militia, to a strong military force with capabilities that even regular armies, the Syrian army, the Egyptian army, do not possess.
What was invested in Hezbollah was invested for a very clear purpose. It was for the D-Day, for the day that Israel will attack Iran.
Actually, Iran is the spawning, is the sponsoring, is the financing of all terror activities, not only in the Middle East, but beyond. They have tentacles in Africa, like Boko Haram in Nigeria, or in Southeast Asia, Saif al-Islam in the Philippines, and many. Today, Iran is the main perpetrator of instability throughout the globe, mostly here in the Middle East.
We're watching a peak of sorts in the relationship between Hamas and Iran and the broader axis, as they call themselves, the various groups that align themselves with Iran.
If we are going to a full-scale war, it's not just going to be the war between Israel and Hezbollah. It's going to be larger, a multi-front war, and we have to bear it in mind and think if this is the scenario that we are looking for today.
One can potentially see, if we're not careful, an escalation where more of these fronts grow hotter. And that is the real concern. And that all comes down to this very close alignment between Iran and its proxies, with Hamas being at the top of that list.